Ange, can I start with squad news? Is it true that Kevin Danso picked up a knock, and what does that mean for your centre-backs? Could it be Romero, Van der Ven? Are they ready for a start, etc.?
Right, okay. Yeah, I think you covered it all there. Kevin, got a hamstring injury in the last game, so he's out, and Ben's back in. So that's the only sort of change from the weekend. Everyone else got through the game, no problems.
And the second part of that, Van der Ven and Romero, how ready to start do you feel they
are? Yeah, they got through the game well. Obviously, Romero, no issues, and it was great to get Micky back out there, and he felt good, so both available.
And this game is being billed as win or bust, both for Tottenham's season, but in some people's opinion also for you and your project here. How do you feel about it, and how important is it?
Yeah. There aren't many professions in the world where you have to come in and answer questions like that, is there? There isn't there? Yeah. So, but I'm going to be polite and just say, look, we're focused on winning the game tomorrow night, and need to put in a better performance than we did last Thursday. Obviously, that wasn't anywhere near the standard we want to play. Did some good things on the weekend, some not so good things, but we certainly feel like if we can play with the intensity and tempo we played. On the weekend, we'll give ourselves a good chance to progress.
Hi, Ange, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Hold on a second, mate. Go on. Go on, mate.
That was funny. That was good.
Thank you, mate. Let's keep our sense of humour.
Absolutely. Yeah. Listen, you've been favourites to win this competition pretty much since it started. That plus, as you've always told me from day one, second season, you always win a trophy. Any extra pressure then tomorrow? No extra pressure. It's, I guess, as I said before, I think we obviously were disappointed with our performance in the first leg. I guess the important thing is we didn't make the tie sort of impossible for us to get back into. It's still very tight. Obviously, they've got the goal advantage, but again, being at home and like I said, if we can play with the intensity and tempo we played on the weekend, then I think we have an opportunity to progress. And should we progress, then we'll obviously going to have another big challenge the next round. But right now, the key focus is to put in a really strong performance at home tomorrow night, and then we'll go from there. Much has been made this season of the youth in your team who have come to the fore, the likes of Bergvall and Gray. But how much tomorrow night are you relying on the experience? Romero at the back, right through the spine, Romero, Maddison, Son. Players like that have to really stand up and be counted for you, don't they?
Yeah, I think so, but, we haven't had them a lot. I'd include Vicario in that as well. I think Vic was enormous for us in the first leg. I thought he was big for us on the weekend as well. So, yeah, you want your sort of big experienced players to perform in these kind of games for sure. As you said, we've relied a lot on our younger players who have really, I think, progressed really well, but... I guess a night like tomorrow night, having the likes of, like I said, Romero, Maddison, Vicario, and Sonny out there. I mean, they're our four leaders. I don't think we've had them on the park at all, sort of together this year, or very little anyway. So, having all four of them, the whole leadership group out there, I think will definitely be beneficial.
Good luck.
Thanks, mate.
Angelo, I wondered, do you ever regret that, giving us that line about always winning in your second season, and has this season and everything that's happened to you sort of done anything to change the way you approach things like that?
Yeah, no, look, I think my view has always been when you ask the question, you answer it. And, I wasn't making anything up. I was asked a question. I answered that question. Now, people have sort of, used it for their own purposes in suggesting I'm making a bold claim, but I wasn't. I was stating a fact. Now, if that doesn't happen this year, then I can't say that anymore if I'm asked next year, can I? So, but what was I supposed to say? Well, yes, I always win one in the second year, but, I have in the past, everywhere I've been, but here it won't happen. Is that what people want us to hear? Or I don't have an issue with that. I mean, I think, like I said, people can twist these things and use them, and you know what, maybe we defy all the odds and I do win something. You know what, people will say, wasn't it great that he made such a bold claim? And people just use it the way they want to, depending on the circumstances. I'll always answer things the way I feel comfortable in answering them. I'm really comfortable I'm proud of the fact that, you know, wherever I've been, I've won things. I think that's something that I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't. Whether I win something in my second year here, then time will tell.
Hey, Ange, can I just ask how bad Kevin's hamstring injury is?
Yeah, hard to say at the moment. He felt it right at the end of the game. We'll see. We've got the international break, which I think helps us, and Kevin himself, he looks after himself. He's a pretty good athlete, so we'll give him every chance to get back. But we'll just have to sort of let it settle down a bit before we kind of get some clarity around that. But he'll be pushing for sure.
Saw you watching Richarlison across the pitches as you first came out. Where's he in his rehab journey?
Again, I think probably post the international break. Again, I think he should be there or thereabouts. Depending on sort of his progress. But it's good to see him back out on the grass. He's working hard to get back in, and hopefully post international break he'll be available.
I just want to ask you about Pat Matissai's. Obviously, observing Ramadan at the moment. How impressive is it, really, that he's managing to put in performances like he did against Bournemouth, despite the fact he's not eating or drinking during the daylight hours?
Yeah, look, I think it's a testament, to him and, all the other players who have, that faith and, those strong beliefs that they're able to kind of be able to do both. And, look, I think Djed's observing it as well. I think with all these things, you have to, respect people's beliefs, and our role is again to try and support and sort of see what we can provide in terms of assistance to make sure that they can perform at the levels they want. And I think Pape, particularly this last sort of 3-4 weeks, is coming back to sort of the levels we sort of saw with him earlier in the year and last year, and he's important to us, particularly at the moment. Tomorrow night, obviously, Rodrigo's suspended, so we'll need his energy as we did on the weekend.
Hi, Ange. You talked about the players having the wrong mindset in the first leg. Have you been able to put your finger on why that was the case?
No, look, I think, as I said, there was some clear evidence there that we just didn't really play at the intensity that we usually do, and whether that was just, I don't know, could be a multitude of things, but obviously we've analysed that, we've reviewed that. I said on the weekend, we had our struggles, but at the same time, I felt we were more like ourselves, particularly in the second half, in terms of just playing with a real strong intent in terms of with and without the ball. And so, the level's there. It's not like it's disappeared. So we just got to make sure we kind of get to that level again tomorrow night.
Just in terms of the pressure, I mean, we can all agree it's obviously a high-pressure game tomorrow. How do you sort of frame that for the players? Do you want them just to walk towards that and embrace it, or do you try and, work in any way to...
Look, I think, there's always pressure there, and yes, it's a big game, but, if we're successful tomorrow night, it'll be the same the next round. I mean, that's when you're in sort of... the later stages of European or any cup competition, you kind of know every game is sort of meaningful because it either means the end of the road or you progress. So we understand that, need to embrace that. It's good that we're at home. So, like I said, it'll be a good challenge for us, but I'm sure it's one we're up for.
And the sort of atmosphere was referenced on Sunday. I mean, we've seen in other cup games, I think Man City, Liverpool and the Carabao Cup, how much of a difference the fans can make. What sort of role have they got tomorrow?
Yeah, big role. We saw that at AZ, and they obviously helped their team on the night, and we need our supporters to sort of get behind the team and create a really good atmosphere, like you said, like we did when we played Liverpool and Man City. I think our fans know it's a big game, and I'm sure they'll come there tomorrow night to try and support the lads and get us over the line.
And obviously, you're one goal down. How do you kind of approach it in terms of, do you try and go hell for leather from the start, or do you have to kind of be a bit mature and think you've got maybe 120 minutes to get through this?
Yeah, I think you just treat it as any other game. I think if you frame the scoreline into it, ultimately it's a game we have to win. If we win, it means we're in a positive goal difference now. Whether that's enough to get through, but it's a game we have to win. We know that. So the beauty of our approach, I guess, is
nothing really changes because we go out there and try and, you know, I know it sounds obvious, but we try and go out there and win every game and be really dominant in our football, and that's what we're going to need to do tomorrow night to get the result we want. So from our perspective, being a goal down doesn't really change anything. I think we'll just go out there with a normal mindset that we, again, we showed in the games we've done well this year, and use that as a way forward.
Hi Ange, how's it going? I just wanted to ask you about a player obviously that has played here before, is back again, just Troy Parrott. What have you made of his season so far? Because Jose Mourinho spoke to him and said that he could see the progression. So just from your own point of view.
Yeah, Troy's done really well. I think he did really well in Holland last year. I think it was a really good sort of loan move for him. And I think sometimes for players like Troy, getting away from sort of the UK and seeing whether they can, in a different style of football, whether it suits him. And I think the Dutch league certainly has allowed him to develop further. He's doing really well. Really pleased for him. And hopefully we keep him quiet tomorrow night.
Just on, he said he kind of went to a different style, as playing sort of as a number 9 this season. What would you say are his best qualities?
Yeah, look, I think he's obviously he's still a very good goal scorer. I mean, his goals, as a striker, he's a good finisher. But apart from that, I think he's a good link-up player. He works hard for his team as well, and we saw that the other night, both with and without the ball. He's a hard worker, and I think that's it's good to see him develop in those areas.
Thanks. Best of luck.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, mate.